Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Today our topic of discussion is nosocomial infections. Students, nosocomial infections are also called hospital acquired infections. Nosocomial infections, these are also called hospital acquired infections. Those infections which are not present at the time of admission of the patient in hospital and develop 48 to 72 hours after admission or after discharge from the hospital are called hospital acquired infections. Okay students, it means that there are three components of nosocomial infections. Number one, they are not present at the time of admission of the patient. Number two, they develop in the patient 48 to 72 hours after admission or when the patient is discharged from the hospital. So these three things are mandatory for hospital acquired infections to be defined. Now we move towards types of hospital acquired infections. Students, the most common hospital acquired infections are urinary tract infections, or we can say catheter related infections. Microorganisms responsible for urinary tract infections are E. coli, Klebsiella, Proteus, Pseudomonas and Candida albicans fungus. Okay students, number second, lower respiratory tract infections. Students, among lower respiratory tract infections, hospital acquired pneumonia is the most common type of nosocomial infections. The causative microorganisms are Staph aureus bacteria, Klebsiella bacteria, Enterobacter, Legionella and Serratia bacteria. Okay students, now we move towards type 3. Now students, number third type of nosocomial infection is surgical wound infections. Student, these surgical wound infections, they are caused mostly by Staph aureus bacteria, Pseudomonas bacteria. Okay. Number fourth, nosocomial diarrhea or hospital acquired diarrhea. Students, this diarrhea is mostly caused by E. coli and Staph aureus bacteria in hospitalized patients. Okay. Now number fifth type of nosocomial infection is bloodstream infections. Infections which travel through bloodstream, or we can call them bacteremia, septicemia. Students, bacteremia means presence of bacteria in the blood, whereas septicemia means presence of bacteria in the blood along with clinical signs and symptoms. What are those clinical signs and symptoms? Fever, shock, decreased blood pressure. These are signs and symptoms of septicemia. Now, last type of hospital acquired infection is tetanus. Okay, From where patient developed tetanus? From unsterilized hospital instruments. Most common cause. Now students, we have discussed 6 major types of hospital acquired infections. I repeat, number 1, surgical wound infections. Number 1, respiratory tract infections. Okay. Number 2, surgical wound infections. Number 3, nosocomial diarrhea. Number 4, bloodstream infections. Number 5, tetanus. Okay. Now students, the most important one, which comes number 1, is urinary tract infections. Okay. These were the 6 varieties of nosocomial infections. ये वाला focus करना. Students, we continue sources of hospital acquired infections. Number 1, contaminated hospital environment. Student, hospital environment is also a source of infection for the patients. These include hospital instruments, fluids used for IV fluids used for the patient, food which is served to the patient in the hospitals, medications, and air environment of the hospital. Number 2 source of infection is patient's own normal flora. These normal flora, cutaneous or skin flora, gastrointestinal tract flora, genitourinary tract flora, and respiratory flora. Students, these normal flora, they may be dislocated from their normal site during different types of procedures in the hospital, or because of decreased immune resistance of the patients. Number 3, invasive devices. Invasive devices, those equipments which are used in the hospital, for example, catheters, endoscopes, laryngoscopes. Okay. And number 4, medical personals. Students, medical staff is also a source of infection for the patient. Some medical personals might be infected, or they may be carriers. So all these 4 are common sources of hospital acquired infections. Now students, we move towards prevention and control of hospital acquired infections. Prevention and control of hospital acquired infection. Number 1, most important is isolation. It means patient must be properly isolated depending upon the type of transmission of the infection. Okay. Number 2, proper sterilization. Number 2, prevention and control method is sterilization. Students, all the surgical instruments, catheters, bed sheets, pillow covers, all objects concerned with the patient's care must be properly sterilized. You have already studied different methods in which autoclave is used, different types of disinfectants used. So all these disinfectants and sterilizing agents must be applied properly in the hospital environment for aseptic environment of the hospital. Number third, repeated hand washing. This is again very important preventive and control measure for hospital acquired infection. Hand washing by the medical staff as well as patient and his or her attendants. Number last, use of PPEs, personal protective equipments. As I have already told you, these include face mask, goggles, protective goggles. Number third, white coat, and head cap. Okay students, these are general measures for prevention and control of nosocomial infections. Thank you students. Allah Hafiz.